All right, here we are with one of the last parts of this video, and you might hear a slight variation in the audio quality because my mic went down, okay? I haven't taken it apart to see what's really wrong with it, or, I don't have a spare. Here it is, a prepper that doesn't have a spare, so I hang my head kind of low, okay? Yeah, I didn't see that coming. So all the parts, as you can hear, the mic is good, but hopefully the camera is picking up my audio fairly well enough to it not being, that large a variation in the audio. But the part up, one of the final parts that I do want to touch on is food. And I want to go over food because I know this video is about a bug out bag, but at some point, it may just be a bag for you to go out and scavenge, for you to go out and hunt, for you to go out and fish, in case you have to go spend a longer amount of time out, okay, out of your house. It's basically, it'll then be a get home bag on a larger scale, right? So you'll be able to stay out for, 72 hours, no problem, because you have everything you need. You would just, of course, change out some of the things to be geared more towards hunting and leave a little bit more space in case you are scavenging to bring back what you have in your pack. So it won't be as heavy, but you'll have all your necessities all ready to go. You might just take out a few parts or components in order to make room for your game that you're bringing back, or whatever you hunted, or a surplus of fish that you may have caught, and or things that you may have scavenged for, okay? Or meeting up with someone else to do trade and the barter system. So you'll have to bring that to trade with someone in order to bring back whatever it is you're getting from them, right? So I do want to go over food real quick. There are, variations of different types of foods that you can just keep in your bag. Some of you are familiar with MREs. They're meals ready to eat. Much of the military uses MREs. MREs are good because they have a heating element in it. So these are very good to have because you won't emit any smoke by preparing anything, okay? It has its heating element. It has a dessert, it'll have a full meal in there. Of course, the utensils are already in there. Everything you need is in here, of course, except water or beverage. Well, they do have the mix in there to mix a drink, a flavored powder that you can pour in water to just give you a different taste. But nevertheless, these are literally meals ready to eat, okay? So they have this one is Southwest style beef and black beans. And you'll have, lasagna, you'll have enchiladas, there's various things in them, and all of it is it'll give you a breakdown of what it is, what's inside. But again, the military uses it both abroad and domestically, and they hold up forever, so it's good to have something like that in your bag ready to go. You don't need to start a fire because you want to make sure of your surroundings before you start doing that, because you could be in a bad area where you don't want to be noticed. So an MRE is probably the better of all to go to. You also have, what do you call, like ration bars, food ration bars. They almost look like small cubes of cake, of like pound cake. A little tougher, but they're also, hopefully I was able to show you that, the MRE, hopefully I was able to zoom in good. And then you have like food ration bars like this. Of course, they're all that I have seen have been all basically one flavor. Sometimes it's like lemon, or doesn't taste like really anything. So I've had, the taste like anything is not great. But what it is it's packed with a ton of calories. So when you're hoofing it, on foot, traveling in this desert-like climate right now where it's between 90 and 105 degrees every day, and you have to walk, you're gonna lose a lot of bodily fluids and you're gonna lose a hell of a lot of calories because of the amount of energy your body has to exert in order to get from point A to point B. So you'll have a 40, 50 pound backpack on. You're walking in this sun, you're going to get dehydrated. So that's why I made mention you have to have water on you, okay? Because even your water source might take some energy for you to get to. You have to get to the water source. So if you're trying to get to that water source in 95-degree weather, and if it's a good hike, not everyone has a river running through their backyard. So you might have to get somewhere kind of far, or a natural spring. You know, natural spring might be a 30-minute drive from your house, 40-minute drive from your house, which would equate in, you know, a 7-hour walk, okay, 8-hour walk. And you should get familiar with that. You know, with the we went over the navigation part, but you should get familiar with, even on your phone, a destination. Let's say to your job, a destination you go every day. You have the ability to type in, so it'll tell you how far, it'll tell you how fast you'll get there in your car. But then if you look usually to the right or left, it'll give you the option of walking. Just look how long it would take you to walk a distance that you drive every day, to help your mind gauge, okay, if I had to walk this, okay, a drive that usually takes me an hour, according to this map, if I was walking, it would take me roughly 12 hours, which means you would have to stop and rest at some point. Then that's gonna add another, 8 to 10 hours onto your trip. So it's almost a full, 20 to 24 hours in order to get somewhere that normally takes you an hour to drive, okay? So these are things that we have to factor in. So if you have your MREs, if you have your protein food bars, these are things you're gonna have in your bag ready to eat, ready to prepare. You don't have to boil anything. You don't have to boil any water. You don't have to put it in a pot and cook it. Then you also have something like freeze-dried food. Now, there are a ton of various brands on the market as far as freeze-dried food goes. Mountain House you can find on Amazon, you can find in Walmart, and they're good. They're pretty good. But you do have to add hot water, which means you have to take time to boil water. The good thing about this is, which in other brands, it doesn't have this type of bottom that allows it to sit up by itself, right? And I remember one time camping, I used a different brand and I poured the hot water in, and the packaging began to crumble in my hand. And I had to drop it because boiling water started to spill over the sides and spill on my hand. It was not great. So even the packaging is gonna make a difference. Pay attention to that. Because once you add hot water, and then most of these are like, $8 or so, $7, $6 if you buy them in bulk. And you should, before you start buying bulk, you should test out those little things. How will this food do once hot water is poured in? Or do I have to, pour the hot water in, or do I have to prepare it in a container? Because then that's something else. You have to start the fire. You have to add water to the container. Set your cooking stove, get your cooking utensils, get your pots, put this in there, then add the water, have it cook like you're really having a camping meal. We're talking about being on the go. So you would want something that's a little easier to get done. The food bars will pack on the calories so you won't drop as much weight, depending on how far you have to walk, how long you're gonna be out there. And then of course the MRE is more of a complete meal. It's literally more of a complete meal. This is beef stew from the Mountain House. It's fairly good, as long as the water is in. There's something else too. Make sure you put the recommended amount of water in here, because if you don't put enough, some of that, whether it be the beef in there, be very rubbery because it didn't boil or cook all the way through. So that part is not great, but nevertheless, good taste, seasoned well. It's good. MREs, again, more of a complete meal. You'll have a main course, you'll have a dessert, you'll have something else in there, sometimes crackers or whatever the case may be. So these are just 3 variations of the possibilities of food that you can keep in your bug out bag. And each of them provide a pretty good, provide good substance. Some taste better than others. And again, you know, different variations will be a complete meal. So you'll be able to have a little, little dessert, have a good meal, be able to, and have the heating element that you don't have to worry about starting a fire, emitting smoke, and someone detecting you if you don't want to be detected, unless you want to be found. And then of course the Mountain House or freeze-dried food is going to be just that. You're not going to have any powdery drinks with it or anything like that. So, hopefully this is helpful for something to keep in your bag. You may be able to put all of them in there for various reasons. And sometimes you have to also think of others, okay? You may be meeting up with someone. You may be traveling with someone else. You may, the plan may be for you and someone else to hoof it. It doesn't hurt to have a little extra because they may not have enough, okay? We have to think about one another in those times as well and not just be selfish. So hopefully that was helpful to you. Hopefully the prepping team can help you prepare what's in your bag, that we all can do well when it's a SHTF situation. All right, so stay tuned for more content from the prepping team channel, and make sure you like, subscribe, share this channel, and hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll see you again. All right, take care.